We have to deal with the marginalization that has come from the 400 years of slavery that you said for our people was a choice.
Kanye West is sort of a crazy guy. If you followed him over the past several weeks, he has now gone full Trump. Kanye West has years of saying kind of ridiculous, outlandish things. Sometimes some of the things that he said have sounded insightful, somewhat even intelligent in some cases. But more recently, and especially this past week, he's just sounding like a blathering idiot. Now, look, everybody is free to express whatever they feel, whatever they think, whatever their opinions are. And we're all free to talk about how stupid those opinions are. So that's what we're doing today. Now, Kanye West, apart from his love for Trump, he visited TMZ and talked about slavery. How do you think that went? So I'm going to show you that clip, and then I'm going to follow it up with an even better clip of a TMZ staffer ripping him apart. But first, here's Kanye West and his thoughts on slavery.
One thing is people try to minimize me to artists, hip hop, black community. Yeah, I'm always gonna represent that, but I also represent the world. When you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all?
What do you say to this? This is so stupid. I mean, the only reason anyone's covering this is because it's Kanye West. This is a guy who is a musical genius, but he's one of those guys where everything that he knows is only in one area. So Kanye West is a genius because all his brain power is put towards music. There's none left over for any other critical thought. So, no, slavery was not a choice. So, slaves were literally in chains. And they didn't have, Twitter or Facebook to discuss how they should meet up and overthrow their masters. This idea that, I haven't really heard expressed all that often. Maybe it's because I'm not in white supremacist circles. But this idea that slavery is a choice, how can anyone possibly defend this? Now, a TMZ staffer had the best response to this. So here it is.
Do you feel that I'm feeling, do you feel that I'm being free and I'm thinking free?
I actually don't think you're thinking anything. I think what you're doing right now is actually the absence of thought. And the reason why I feel like that
It's because Kanye, you're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to believe whatever you want. But there is fact and real world, real life consequence behind everything that you just said. And while you are making music and being an artist and living the life that you've earned by being a genius, the rest of us in society have to deal with these threats to our lives. We have to deal with the marginalization that has come from the 400 years of slavery that you said for our people was a choice. Frankly, I'm disappointed, I'm appalled, and brother, I am unbelievably hurt by the fact that you have morphed into something, to me, that's not real.
So that was TMZ staffer Van Lathan. And that reply was just perfect. So a couple of quotes there. He said that this is Kanye's absence of thought. I couldn't put it any better myself. So Kanye West has this new thing where he's acting like, oh, I'm a free thinker. I'm not allowing anyone to affect my opinions on things. I'm thinking for myself. I'm a free thinker. That's not what he's doing. What Kanye West doesn't realize, the thing that he's doing, is he's not thinking at all. He's speaking emotions. So because Kanye West is so uneducated on these issues, he has convinced himself now that he is a free thinker when he's spouting this ridiculously uneducated bullshit. And it convinces himself that he's correct because that's how I feel. I'm a free thinker. I'm thinking what I think. But there's still facts. There's still, reality. There's still the facts of what happened in history and how your words will affect people. So Kanye West, look, everything he's saying here, it wouldn't be important if it wasn't for the fact that he's Kanye West. By him supporting Trump and saying just complete bullshit like this, like slavery was a choice, what he's doing is he's validating white supremacy. He's allowing these people, a lot of white people, I can't think there's many more black people like Kanye West that think like this, but he's allowing white people who are white supremacists to validate how they feel about this, because they can go, oh look, Kanye West, one of the biggest stars in black culture, one of the biggest rappers in the world, Kanye West also agrees with us on these issues. He's also a Trump supporter, so clearly we're on the right track. That's what he's doing. Now, like, how do you get around this? Because clearly Kanye West is an idiot. Clearly he doesn't know what he's talking about. But to people that believe the shit that he's saying, it doesn't matter if anybody calls him out. Because to them, well, it doesn't matter what you think. Kanye West said it. Now, comedian, writer, and producer Chloe A. Hilliard is the one that shared this video, and she has a great reply to the importance of having diversity on your staff. So she said, "This is why it's important to have diversity on your staff. No one else was going to speak up, and Kanye wasn't going to respect anyone else speaking to him like this. Thank you, Van Lathan. Hashtag TMZ." So, for whatever reason, this is something that people overlook when thinking about diversity in a workplace. So, diversity is important because of this very reason. Not because Kanye West may jump into your office one day and say some racist shit, but because what it does is it brings in different experiences. So if on paper you have two people on their resume that have, that both went to the same school, both graduated with the same sorts of grades, both had similar work experiences, but one is of a marginalized community and one is white, the benefit there is to hire the person that is marginalized because they bring in a different perspective. They bring in a different experience that can inform other ways you do business and benefit you in that way. Now, if you are, an all-black office and you're looking for diversity, then yeah, maybe hire the white guy because they're going to bring in some bullshit perspective. Okay, I'm joking, but you get what I'm saying. So diversity on staff is good because it brings in these different perspectives. Now, I want to show you this reply from journalist Karen Hunter, who discusses the actual history of slavery in a way to try and educate Kanye West. So she tweeted out, "Dear Kanye West, from history, laws dictating when, where, and how slaves could congregate were enacted to prevent insurrection and quell white paranoia. It's estimated there were at least 250 slave rebellions in America before slavery was abolished." So again, more facts that Kanye West wouldn't know if he doesn't educate himself on the actual history of this issue. Now, I want to get to a tweet from my favorite progressive, Nina Turner, who is the president of Our Revolution. She tweeted out this in response to Kanye's tweet saying, "Once again, I am being attacked for presenting new ideas." She replied saying, "You are not being attacked for presenting a new idea. You are being challenged because there is a difference between ideas and facts. The facts of the matter are black folks were taken from Africa by force, dehumanized, brutalized, and traumatized. Please take a black history course." Of course, she's exactly right. And look, it's not even just about the history of slavery or black history in general. It's about how black people are treated today. So all Kanye West has to do is watch the news or go online and see how cops are disproportionately killing unarmed black Americans. Or how about those two black guys that were arrested at a Starbucks a few weeks ago for simply waiting for their friend? The cops were called on them after 2 minutes. That's not a problem that any white person has ever had to face. Or how about the black kid that stopped for directions after he got lost on his way to school? He stopped at a house to ask for directions and they shot at him because they thought he was breaking into their house. This is not a white experience. So understand what white privilege is. Look, people get really touchy about that word privilege because they think, no, I'm not privileged. Nobody thinks they're privileged. We've all had a hard life, but that's all in context. So we think we have a hard life because that's our experience. But understand, if you were black, your life would be harder. So I get it. Maybe you're poor. Maybe you work 3 jobs. Maybe you work your ass off and you don't make a lot of money. You don't feel privileged. I'm not saying that you are privileged in the sense of class or society, but you are privileged in race. So if you go to Starbucks and wait for a friend for 2 minutes, no one's calling the cops on you. If there's a cop behind you when you're driving or, just walking down the street, you're not scared for your life because you don't see hours of footage of unarmed black people being killed for no reason. If you get lost and you want to stop, or you need to stop at a house to ask for directions, you don't think about, hey, maybe they might think I'm breaking into their house or they may shoot at me because you're a white person. That's not going to happen to you. So understand white privilege. It doesn't mean that your life is perfect. It simply means that black people have a racial disadvantage in society because of the way that our society currently functions. So people need to get over themselves. Just accept the fact that you have white privilege. I have white privilege. It's fine. The whole point of it is not to make you feel bad. It's not to shame you. I'm not trying to shame myself. It's to understand that other people have different experiences than you do. It's to empathize. And when we can empathize, then we get closer to possibly getting to a society where we are more informed and can improve our systems so that they don't racially disadvantage certain people. So, look, I'm hoping if we get there sometime in the future, people are more informed on this, then we can maybe get to a place where we can educate Kanye West, because ultimately, that's what matters the most. Hey, if you like this video, hit that subscribe button below and consider throwing me a few bucks on Patreon at patreon.com/therationalnational or therationalnational.com/join.